Let's take a look at the PrimUV function inside VEX so we can look at how we can go about transferring attributes from one geometry to another. So I want to look at the PrimUV function in particular because I think it is a rather difficult function to wrap your head around if you don't have some type of visualizer to kind of help you out. So we're going to go ahead and build this visualizer. So all I have set up here is just a grid. It is a 2x2 grid and it is 2 rows and 2 columns. And then we're just doing an attribute randomize for the color. And we're having that over the points for now. Then we're wiring this into the second input of an attribute wrangle, which we don't have anything in yet. This is where we're going to do the PrimUV function. We also have an add where we're going to add a point here. And then we're copying that point or the sphere to that point, and we're just merging it all back together. So let's go ahead and take a look at the PrimUV function here. So if I start typing PrimUV, actually, before I do all this, let's PrimUV. So if I look here, it says interpolates the value of an attribute at a certain parametric UV position. And then we have the usages here, which shows us how we can use it. And we are going to give it an input geometry to work over. We're going to feed in the attribute that we would like to take a look at. And then we're going to look at what prim number we want to look at, and then the UV position on that prim. So I'm going to fill all this out to a visualizer so that we can easily visualize using the setup that we have to see what's going on. So I'm going to create a couple of floats here. So float U is equal to, and then we're going to create a channel float for that. And we'll just call that U. And then we're also going to do float V, and we'll do CHF V for that. And here we're just setting up the U in the V position. So we're going to basically set up our UVs here. And then we need to feed that into a vector 2. We'll call this my UV, and we'll set that equal to the U and V values that we are creating there. Now we're going to copy the color over from this grid to our point based upon its position on this actual grid. So we're going to set the color. So at CD is equal to prim UV. And then we need to feed in the geometry that we want to work over, which in this case is going to be the second input here. So we want to look at the grid. That's into our second input. So we'll do 1, and then we'll specify the attribute that we want to look at, which is going to be CD. Then we need to specify the prim number that we want to actually use. In this case, I'm also going to set up a channel integer for this just so that we can modify this later on and kind of see how this all works. So we'll do CHI, and then we'll call this primnum. And then we're going to, for the last input here, we're going to give it the my UV, or the UV coordinates that we are creating up here. Lastly, we're going to set the position. We'll do equals to set. And then we're going to set this equal to the V, and then 0, and then the U. Once we do this, I can go ahead and apply and accept. We're going to go ahead and create those attributes for us. We're going to leave the primnum to 0 because we only have one primitive here. If I come over here onto the grid, you can see that we only have one primitive. So let's come back to, come back to our attribute wrangle. And in here, we can go ahead and mess around with the U and the V. And you can see that this starts to actually coincide with the colors on our grid. But we have a problem, right? It's only going from 0 to 1. And if I go ahead and start to bring this to this corner where this pink value should be, you can see that it gets way, way pinker. And if I actually go ahead and take a look at the color here, you can see that our values are actually going above 1, which is not what's happening with this attribute randomize, right? We don't have anything going above 1. The reason for that is because once you go outside of the bounds of 0 to 1, which is what the PrimUV function remaps everything to, it's going to extrapolate those values past 0 to 1. So by default, all of your primitives are going to be placed into the 0 to 1 space. That is where your UV space normally lies. So anything outside of that is going to give us an issue. So the way that we go around fixing this in this visualizer is going to be setting the position equal to a fitted range. So we'll do fit 01. We'll leave that V value. And then in this case, because we're going from -1 to 1, we can just set that to -1 to 1. Basically, we want to remap it to the bounds of the grid. Now, we also need to do this for the U position, so fit 01 and then -1 to 1. And once we go ahead and do this, you can see that we have our values being updated. And now you can see that we don't have any values being extrapolated past that value that's being set on our attribute randomize. So I can drag this back towards the center now, and at a value of 0.5 is going to be that gradient in between. And I can move this all the way over, and we can see that that is going to be that green value. I can move it all the way back over here. We get that purple value, and I can move it all the way down, and we get that purple value that's down there. If you don't believe me, we can go ahead and come up to this attribute randomize. Let's go ahead and activate our point numbers. So we have 645. Let's go ahead and come back to this attribute randomize. We have a value of 3 here. So for our point value 3, we have 0.574, 0.975, and 0.325. And if I come back to our merge here, and I just bring this back all the way over, you can see that those values match. You can spot check those, pause the video, whatever you want, but they match. So that is basically how this works. It's going to fit everything just into that 0 to 1 range. But if we want to actually have this work for multiple, our objects with multiple prims, then we need to kind of visualize this differently. So we can come back into our grid. Let's go ahead and set this back to 10 by 10. Now you can see that we have a bunch of different values on here now. And if I come to our attribute wrangle and I start to drag this around, you can see that we're getting some issues here. So let's visualize what's actually going to be going on here. The way that we're going to do that is with a blast node. Let's come back to our attribute wrangle. I'm going to copy this primnum. So right click, copy parameter, paste the values into, or the relative reference into that group. And then we're going to delete the non-selected. And then we can drop down a match size. We'll wire this in, and let's set this to be a 2 by 2 because that is what is matching. Right now we have it set to a -1 to 1 range. So it needs to be a 2 by 2. And we can click this scale to fit now. And we're going to have what we are looking for. So now if we come up to this attribute wrangle and we start to drag this around, you can see that our values, again, are going to match. And I can change this to be any primitive that we want. And our values are going to continue to match as we drag them around. Again, we can switch to a different primitive. And this is all going to work properly. So this is just a good way of visualizing kind of what is going on with the PrimUV function. It's going to remap everything into that UV space, so that 0 to 1 range. And that's important to remember because you got to keep your values between that. And that's going to allow you to do a lot of really cool things with the PrimUV function. A lot of people use it in combination with the XYZ distance function in order to, grab the value of a nearest, point to a position or another point, which is a great use for it. But there's also other uses for it. And I wanted to show kind of how it works and how to visualize kind of what is actually happening with PrimUV function so that you can use it in different scenarios, because it is actually useful for other things as well, which we will most likely cover in future videos. But anyways, hopefully this has helped you out. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day.